Good evening. I'm Mayor Mark Northrup. This is Hudsonville City Commission regular session dated March 10th, 2026. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Bolhuis,
Here.
Branson,
Here.
DeBrey,
Here.
Rote,
Here.
Hamp,
Here.
Nitre,
Here.
Mayor Northrup.
Aye. Would everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Got it? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Now is the time for a moment of silence, and I have a bit of a confession. In 1979, I came home from college, and I proceeded to have an argument with my father concerning the Shah of Iran and how ousting him was a good thing for the world. My father traveled extensively in the Mideast, a lot, to all those countries. And he rather quite pragmatic, being coldly in the eyes, no harm. Trust me, not him. So I stand here 40 years later, still contemplating that one time I really had an argument with my father. And many of us still recall barracks, Beirut, moment. Larry, we lost 220 of our brothers. That was the long road of terror and destruction in the East. Thousands, hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions, needlessly killed, living without free liberty and will, and women being beaten. All those dances we stand for in our. So, we're at a transition point in that part of the world. And I can't help but think in my moment of silence, I just got better. And that all those young men and women that stand guard for us, heaven, like you, like several people that we know, our brothers, our children, father, mother, they stand guard. Let's pray. So, a moment of silence. Thank you. Now it's time for public comments. If you're not on the agenda, please address the dais. I don't see anybody here public addressing us, so we will move on to the consent agenda items. Before we do that, I will ask if there are any changes to the agenda today.
I'd like to move to table item number 9 until a later date.
It's been moved by Commissioner Nitrate to table number 9. Is there support?
I'll support that.
It's moved and supported. I do believe, Jack, you want to say a few words first? Not to that effect.
No, I think it's good. There's some things that we need to communicate, have some discussions on. So I think it's good.
Yeah, we can be better, and there is decision that there's no harm in delaying discussion.
Some
here
good stuff
and getting the right decision, and we all have the same. So,
Yep.
Job and I appreciate you actually kind of raising that issue today, and I think all of our part, we can be a little better. Well, so there's no harm in pushing it back. All those in favor of tabling item number 9, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. We will then move on to the consent agenda items. There are 4. City Commission regular session minutes dated February 10th. City Commission work session minutes dated February 24th. Planning Commission meeting minutes dated February 18th. And accounts payable reviewed by the Finance Committee, payment of bills of $186,000, $755.09, and ACH $190,000, $552.37. Is there any discussion or changes to consent agenda items? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion carries. Moving on to departmental reports. Chief, you are up.
Good evening. Report in front of you from the month of February. We responded to 49 calls for service, a fairly quiet month really for us. A couple of fires we did standby on, and we did have one fire of our own, and it was a dryer fire in a condominium. Life report is there. They're doing very well with their response times. We do keep an eye on that. We are soon going to start up our quarterly meetings with them again, just to kind of keep our finger on that as well and make sure that they are doing what they're supposed to do. So other than that, pretty quiet.
And for staffing, how are we doing?
We're doing okay on staffing. We did a little promotional video with Fox 17, kind of in cooperation with the Career Line Tech Centers program, and that got us a little bit of attention. Nobody yet from the city, but a few from outlying areas. But we do have a few applicants again that we're working through.
Good.
So, yep,
I think we had a lot of coverage on that, a lot of
we
interest
did.
from what I'm hearing. In our viewpoint, yeah, we'd like for them to be our
Yep,
firefighter, but truthfully, they go someplace else and take that skill set, we still need to be supportive of that and happy that,
yep.
that we launched somebody. I had a discussion with the chief shortly before we started the meeting concerning the fire truck. You maybe just tell us where we are doing
Yeah,
that?
so really no news yet, but very soon we're gonna have our pre-construction meeting. So we don't know exactly when that's gonna be scheduled, but I would think sometime in April here, we'll have our pre-con meeting. And then we'll start, that's for the box body pump side of the truck. The chassis, of course, is done. We've seen that, but the rest of the truck. I would still expect delivery to be sometime in October, is what we're looking for.
And will that be Spartan Green then, or?
Yeah, so Spartan is the chassis, and then Spencer will be the body. So Spartan Rev will be is the manufacturer of the chassis part of it.
But no Ohio State Red?
You can say red.
It's a fire truck color.
You can say it's Ohio State red too if you want.
Thank you, Chief. Unless there's any questions for you? Hearing none, thank you. Keep up the good work. Lieutenant?
Good evening. For the Sheriff's Office in the East District, we responded to 1,762 calls. Pretty busy, a little bit down from last month. We responded to 255 traffic crashes within the East District, and then enforcement numbers were at about 781. So crashes down, calls for service down just a little bit, but the traffic enforcement was up. That was also the same for Hudsonville City specifically. So calls for service 182, enforcement, so last month we were at about 51. A lot of that was due to weather-related crashes. The DEPs were busy taking crashes and on call, so it was at 51. This month, 123. So more than doubled it. They hammered 32nd Avenue with good result there. Crashes were down just a few, which was good. Again, the weather making a turn for the good. And then medicals were up just a few as well at 19.
Tonight, when we came into the city, I don't know, did you experience this, Jack? The interstate, we were backed up all the way about a mile, and apparently there's something going on at the field house right now.
Yes, there is.
I did not see a deputy out there in front of the.
Yeah, there's several. The school actually contracted with the sheriff's office on top of their already having their school resource officers. There's additional deputies there tonight as well. So
But it looked
there
like
was
the-
some,
it
was some
didn't-
traffic issues with parking, but there was deputies out there monitoring
Like
it.
we had maxed out on all parking.
Yeah, it's filled up. Very busy.
So is there any thought about how we could mitigate that in the future, or?
We're gonna have to probably work with the schools on that with additional parking.
Well, and I think there was, as I was coming from the highway, my street there, going off Beach Ridge, there was a bunch of young kids that were all standing there waiting to cross. Somebody's gonna turn left into the parking lot, and I'm doing 35 going down there, and all of a sudden, this girl kind of like with this giddy look on her face, and she like steps out into the traffic, and I'm like, whoa, and everybody else just stood back. So I'm like, that right there is, I don't know, that's risky. That's like,
Yep.
that's an accident waiting to happen. Some young kid steps out in traffic thinking people are gonna stop. There's no crosswalk there, there's nobody guiding traffic, so
Yep.
I think the school has to be, something has to be done to make sure that that is guided.
Follow up on that, Jack. Church, across the street, field house, parking. that presents another problem.
Crossing through,
Yeah,
People are.
and that's where they were
pedestrians
coming from.
crossing,
They were coming,
And then we also have cars parking on both sides of the street. That's been by traffic,
yeah.
even coming here tonight, cars, me going out, and
Yeah, we'll have to,
challenge.
again, work with the school, I think, to secure a little bit more personnel and staff members that they can help with crossing traffic back and forth. But I know there's at least 3 deputies there right now within the field house, and so,
What was it, basketball tournament?
yes, sir.
High school
It's the
state.
state quarterfinals, Rockford and East Kentwood.
Yep.
Well, quick.
Okay. Thank you. Just give that your attention if you can. Appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you.
Good evening.
I'm waiting for my name this time.
I know your last name's Dahl, but I'm so used to calling you Dave. 10 years. It's hard to,
Get this down to my level.
thank you.
All right, couple things I wanted to highlight on my report tonight. You might notice in my note about our department staff meeting, we did a debriefing on the 100-car pileup that was out on I-196. Made it the longest staff meeting I think I've ever had. My team had a lot of feedback, a lot of thoughts. It actually happened again at the next staff meeting. They continued to talk about it. So I'm pulling that together into a report. I've talked with the city manager, I've talked with the fire chief, and still working on revising the report. And I will have something for you all as well, so you can see what our department likes about how things went and what they think we can do a little differently next time. But that was a big deal for us. The Skyline Storm Spotter training, you notice that I mentioned only 2 department members attended it. That's because everybody else was up to date on it. We attend that every other year, and if you're not required that particular year, you don't necessarily go. Sometimes some of us go every year. In this case, the venue they had it in was relatively small, especially limited parking, and so those of us who didn't need it didn't go and take a parking spot from other people who needed to be there. So that's why there were only 2 of us that went to Skywarn training. One other thing I want to highlight, down at the bottom, says that Alex Corbin joined the department on February 2nd. I'd like Alex to come on up and introduce himself. He's our newest department member. Yeah, we're making progress.
That's excellent.
All right. Hey, good evening. As Dave mentioned, my name is Alex Corbin. I moved to the city about a year ago and have been looking for ways to get more involved in the community. I actually know Dave from Meyer, where I spend most of my time, and I grew up in emergency management, where in my career, I'm still doing it today full-time. So excited for the opportunity, and yeah, looking forward to working more closely with Dave. So nice to meet you all.
Thank you.
Great to have you. And where do you live in Hudsonville?
Right off of New Holland. Yeah.
Good job. While you're here, some discussion here about the pileup on and how we could leverage that to, and Jacob, about how we need to leverage that possible at the higher level, get it interchanged. And any chance you get, communicate that with your circuit of friends and colleagues, that this just hammers home the point for a need to interchange, not just for business growth, but predominantly for the safety.
Right.
And, I have buy-in from Congressman Huizenga and Senator Victory, but every chance we get, we need to raise that issue about we need an interchange 48 for emergency egress. We could use a freeway. We're going to continue to have access up there to traffic. So I just ask you, if you can, make that a point to discuss that.
Yep. Yeah, I agree completely. I've thought for a long time we need an interchange there, and I will bring that up as opportunities arise.
Good. Thank you, Dave.
Right. Anything else?
Hearing nothing, we're good. I'll turn over to the City Finance Director.
Good evening, everyone. Presented is the report for the month of February. Nothing too out of ordinary. We wrapped up taxes the other day. to settle with the county, so we're just waiting on their word back. They have a new lady there doing the settlement because the previous one now works for the Allendale Charter Township, so they're learning their ways now. So we're being patient with them and letting them learn their way and trying to help out where we can. Interest was down a little bit in February just because it's a shorter month, so some of them are paid out on the 30th, so March should hopefully, cover those ones. They just get paid out a day late, so it was 32,731 last month, and our rolling average is still 39,883, so still doing pretty well with that. And the debt report's still the same, not gonna change until August, so there's nothing there. Any questions on anything?
Nothing from here, hearing nothing. I guess we will then move on to grant tracker. Is that now, or?
I mean, I can share a little update if you want.
Yeah, I would like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so I broke it down to do calendar year 2026 as well. So the two that are bolded that you see in 26, the top one there, that was a grant through the Office of Highway and Safety Planning for the fire department. That is federal dollars, so we're seeking to get an attenuated traffic control vehicle to help address in part of those response issues with having our fire trucks on the side of the road during 100-car pileups like happened in January. So having a designated vehicle that is for roadside incidents, traffic control for Hudsonville Balloon Days, for Tulip Time Festival, different things like that in all the capacities that our fire department helps out in regional events. So seeking funding there. We're actually in the period right now, I'm cleaning up a little bit of our application. We got some feedback from some of our state agency friends as well. So updating that will be due on Friday, and then in another month or two, we'll hopefully find out if we move on to phase 2. So I'll have updates on that. And then park benches, at your repeated recommendation, Mr. Mayor, Sarah Steffens knocked that out with me last week. Great little narrative on that. So hopefully hear back about some benches in our downtown district and at Hughes Park and Buttermilk Creek Path as well. So that's what's up. And then in the queue, we'll have some match on main applications coming through for the DDA in the next month and a half.
Any questions, feedback, or? Appreciate the effort there. I was only expecting to put in 2 park benches. I think it's great you put in 6, so maybe we'll get all 6?
Yep.
Can't hurt but ask. And I know that, Mary, you've had some of yours come through recently. Yours a little smaller, but from my perspective, a win is a win is a win. So every little bit certainly helps the city and the budget.
Yep. Yeah, and I've been working with City Manager Dotson and most of the department heads and city staff as well to build what we're calling kind of our chip shot list. So whether it's a shovel-ready project or not, something that we know each department, it's a program or a project they might look at on a regularly scheduled basis. So it's something that we can plan and anticipate for, as well as recognizing new opportunities as they announce themselves, or you share information from Capcom or other conferences and things that you attend. So
Very good. Hearing nothing else, thank you, Jacob, and keep up the good work.
thanks.
Moving on to item number 4, turnout gear approval. I spoke earlier to the finance director. This is actually 2 grants that's driving this. We have the FEMA grant for the amount of $75,000. We have a state grant, $4,200. And our share of this, $8,200. Right now, we've been budgeting for one set of turnout gear a year, correct? It went up, Chief. But this allows us to start everything new. So all the gear that's like only a couple years old, will we be turning those into surplus, or will we keep them?
Yeah, so there's 5 sets that are currently in compliance.
And in
those-
compliance is 10 years, that's the life?
Yeah, correct, NFPA compliance, yep. So those 5 sets, that's gonna be pants and coats only. We're gonna use those for my set, which mine is only a year old, so that'll be fine. The captain's second set will still remain an older set. I say older, it'll be a year old. And then the other 3 we're gonna use for cadets. So we will keep them here and we will utilize them for cadets as they go through the academy.
Right.
They'll be fitted with that, and then once they are up to firefighter, we'll decide at that time, do we buy a new set for them or whatever. So, but then it'll be new sets for everybody else. So it'll be wholesale new, plus new helmets for everybody, new boots for everybody, and gloves. So
It's-
it
it's-
is
it's-
wholesale exchange.
Huge amount. So kudos to you
It's,
for putting in.
yeah, it was a pretty good day when we got that phone call.
Yeah, you
Yep,
had pretty happy.
yep, we're excited.
My only issue, and I kind of mentioned with the finance director, making sure that we have a CIP that projects out 10 years, because 10 years from now, we need another 100,000 to replace it.
Well, that's exactly right, and the same is true for the SCBA that we got a grant for a couple years ago, and it's a never-ending cycle.
But we need to have a long-term
Yep,
capital improvement plan. Those are huge expenses. You have to do it.
we really don't have an option.
There's
right?
no option, so we
Right.
have to plan for the finance.
And even though we don't beat our gear down like a metro department would, with fires day in, day out, it still breaks down.
They wear out.
Sunlight's the worst thing for them, but NFPA standard is 10 years, and we've stretched the limits as far as we can stretch it. And we were in the process of doing 1 or 2 a year, which we'd started a couple years ago, knowing that was but when this grant opportunity came up, it's hard to say no.
Very good, thank you. Would somebody from the finance committee make?
I make a motion to approve the purchase of turnout gear from Phoenix Safety Outfitters in the amount of $83,877.91.
Support. The move is supported. Any other discussion from the commission? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Branson,
Yes.
Bray, Bullheye,
Yes.
Rote,
Yes.
Camp,
Yes.
Nitre,
Yes.
Mayor Northrup.
Aye, motion carries, and
Thank you.
will you get your name embroidered on one?
It'll be, well, it's already on the back of the new one, so everybody's coat will have it on the back.
Good.
Have the last name on the back, so, yep.
Keep up the good work, thank you. Moving on to the item number 5, MERS default contribution rate. I'll ask for motion from personnel.
Make a recommendation to amend MERS plan effective 7/1/25 to make the default contribution rate 2%.
Second.
Been moved and supported. This was driven by a employee that transitioned from being a union to a salaried, and they need to make sure they carried over with the automatic grandfathering of their MERS 2% obligation. Correct?
Yeah, with MERS, it's a change of plan, even though it is roughly the same plan, and because of that, this resolution is needed.
So just basically clean something up. Come up very often.
Yes. Rarely. Andrew, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, it's just based on the IRS regulation that since we're in a government plan, you're only allowed to choose once per employer. So you choose upon hire, and if you're transferred in between plans, you go to the default rate. And our old default rate was 0, which then you wouldn't get the contribution from the city, the extra contribution from the city. So this just helps to alleviate that. So they're not making a choice, but they're still getting the benefit the city offers.
And 25 was the correct year.
Yes, that is the correct year. We just backdated it so it would be effective for this person.
Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Bullheye,
Yes.
Rote,
Yes.
Branson,
Yes.
Bray,
Yes.
Camp,
Yes.
Nitre,
Yes.
Mayor Northrup.
Aye. Moving on to item number 6, the landscape waiver zoning ordinance amendment, and I will turn Commissioner on planning commission that had large discussion.
I make a motion to adopt ordinance 26-341, amending the City of Hudsonville zoning ordinance with respect to the landscape waiver standards.
Second.
Been moved and supported. quite frankly, gentlemen, I just do not talk about this anymore since it consumed about an hour and a half of a planning commission on the location of one tree on a boulevard that obstructed the view of trucks pulling out of a industrial parking lot. We had to make the amendment here so that it was compliant with the ordinance. Sarah, do you have anything to add to that?
Just the overall waiver changed from being specific to buffers to being able to deviate for something like that without having to have a special stipulation as a condition in the motion. It is now something that the Planning Commission can choose based on a list of some out-of-control things of a developer, like utilities, anything like that, to give them flexibility. It's not allowing them to not install the landscaping as required. Otherwise, it's just if there's special stipulations, Planning Commission can do that without having to do a variance
There's
process.
some flexibility that we occasionally need here.
Yeah.
We trust the judgment of the Planning Commission. And if you have anything to say, Larry, you sat through that meeting with me, and I
No, I would not want to add any more conversation.
I don't want to talk about this tree anymore. Thank you, Sarah, very much. I'll call for a roll call.
Branson,
Yes.
Grote,
Yes.
Bullhead,
Yes.
DeVray,
Yes.
Camp,
Yes.
Nitre,
Yes.
Mayor Northrup.
Aye, motion carries, and the ordinance is adjusted. Moving on to item number 7, wireless telecommunication facilities lease agreement. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve resolution number 26-1827, authorizing city manager R. Tyler Dotson to sign a lease agreement with Wireless Edge Towers 3 LLC to locate a wireless telecommunication tower at 3275 Central Boulevard.
Second the motion.
The move is supported. Any discussion? We have spoken about this at length at the last work session. Looking through these numbers here, I still find it a little bit hard to process value amount financially, the city getting back, not to mention get our old tower taken down and a new one put up. Now, there was a little bit of pushback from some community members, but in the end, this clearly is the right thing to do with our public institution. Good communication off City Hall. We get 75% on the first co-location and 50% thereafter. All not going to be, and I just don't see how this could not have happened on our own. The cost of the tower. Any other discussion on this insight? I know you and I had a long discussion, Finance Director, on the impact of the budget for the city, and it is significant. Maybe not initially, but over the years, it's certainly. Any discussion? Question? I know the vendor's here. Thank you for working with staff. Sarah, you got anything else to add?
If you don't have any questions? Doug, do you have any?
Doug, I don't know if you want to address us at all?
I just want to thank you for everyone's involved discussion and collaboration on this. First of all, my name is Doug Weber. My company's Urban Wireless Solutions, representing Wireless Edge. And I want to tell you, when I started my company, Urban Wireless, almost 7 years ago now, after many years working with Verizon, my primary objective was to foster better working relationships and partnerships between the private sector and the public sector. This project, to me personally, is kind of a shining example of exactly what I had hoped for when I started my business. And I think more of this needs to happen as we talk about critical infrastructure and technology for residents and all that sort of thing. But I don't want to go on and on. I just want to thank the city manager. I want to thank you, Mayor, the planning staff. Dan and Sarah have been great to work with, and we look forward to a long and fruitful relationship with the city of Hudsonville.
When do we think, what's our timing on, right?
So, depending on how quick permitting goes, we took a risk and we started much of our due diligence already, like some of our environmental stuff and all that sort of thing, stuff that we didn't have to dig in the ground or anything like that. We're in what they call doing NEPA right now, which is kind of the long lead time thing. That should be free by the end of April. After that, the long lead time thing's probably just gonna be the timing it takes to get the actual steel for the tower. That could be 8 weeks or longer, just depending on what the backlog is.
Now, is there a crane that comes in to install that? Now, what about when we take down the old one? What is the timing between those two?
Well, the old one won't come down. In theory, it could come down as soon as we can get the city's infrastructure cut over to the new tower. I mean, it's not gonna be simultaneous, obviously, but it would be shortly thereafter. We hope to have this tower thoroughly in construction, in the June, July timeframe.
Oh, that's soon.
So,
Any other question or discussion?
Have a comment, Mr. Mayor? I just want to wish you the best of luck with NEPA, Doug.
with what?
The best of luck with NEPA.
Oh, yeah, well, that's always a wild card.
Gets wilder every time.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna wish me luck on the basketball tournament, but, you know.
Anything else? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Grote,
Yes.
Branson,
Yes.
Bullheist,
Yes.
DeVray,
Yes.
Camp,
Yes.
Nitre,
Yes.
Mayor Northrop.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you, Doug, and I'm sure we'll see you around here,
Yeah.
Kate.
Thank you very much,
Very well.
everybody. Have a
Thank
good
you.
night. All right.
Moving on to item number 8, First Amendment to Library Service Agreement with Blendon Township.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt the First Amendment to Library Services Agreement.
I'll second that.
Thank
Been
you.
moved and supported. I see the library director walking up here to, we did discuss this at length the last 2 weeks ago.
Work session.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Anything changed since then?
Nothing's really changed. We've pretty much solidified the 6-month extension. We're all on the same page, all 3 parties, so us, Zealand Library, and then Blendon Township. The only thing you guys should be aware of, this is gonna be going to Blendon Township's meeting next week, Monday. And Tyler point blank asked me, are they gonna approve it? I don't know.
Why wouldn't they?
Because
I
can't assume anything.
Don't
I
answer
really
that.
can't. So I'm hopeful that they will, and I think we have some negotiations that we could kind of do with them in hopes that they will accept this, but if we need to, we would just bring it back to you guys. Yeah.
Will there be staff at that meeting?
Say that again?
Will there be staff at that Blendon meeting?
Will there be,
Staff?
Are you attending?
oh, will I be attending? I won't be, but I can try and see if I can.
Mary and,
Amanda.
thank you. Only asked her name 10, 20, 30 times at this point. They've attended Blendon Township meetings in the past. The attorneys have hammered out the details. I'll give, depending on what the decision is here, I will give Rob,
No.
Greg, the Blendon Township manager a call on that. We've been working on this for every bit of a year and a half now, and I think we're there, but at the end of the day, we need their governing.
Yeah.
But I don't think our presence there would act.
I just didn't know if they would have any questions.
Back to Mike.
Could.
It might be best just.
Yeah, and our London Township representative on the library board, she did attend last month.
Okay.
And, and kind of just kept me in the loop and everything too. So that's been really helpful to have her, to lean on her a little bit for that too.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, can I
Yeah.
make a recommendation? With the way the recommended motion is to adopt, a thought could be to allow the city manager to approve the agreement contingent on your approval. What we're talking about here is the way the payment structure is. If we approve this First Amendment here and amendments are needed, we have to bring it back. If the motion is made that allows me to sign the agreement at an appropriate time, then if there's a minor adjustment, I can work with Andrew on the payment schedule. That would be the only case, and we could administratively take care of that then.
I'm not the one that made the motion.
Yeah, I can rephrase my motion. So, motion to authorize the city manager to sign the First Amendment of the Library Services Agreement.
Supported that?
Yes. Support, same support.
So are we clear on the motion, everybody? The move supported, I'll call for the roll.
Commissioner Nitre,
Yes.
Grote,
Yes.
Volheis,
Yes.
Branson,
Yes.
Gray, Camp,
Yes.
Mayor Northrup.
Aye, motion carried. We are now winding down to city manager report. Before we get there, I think the commission and all the staff was aware that Tyler and I attended a banquet, an awards banquet in Detroit on Friday night, right? Saturday night. It was a very formal and regal affair. We were privileged to have won. The fact that I got up and spoke briefly about that our little $1 million project was the winner when there were clearly billion-dollar projects in Oakland and Oakland County and what's the other big one over there?
Wayne?
Wayne County. I mean, there were some huge engineering projects. But our little project was the award-winning with Police in Vandenbrink. When I spoke to the audience, I spoke at length about, from my perspective, the impact. I mean, everybody is talking about the engineering, but I got up and spoke about the impact that this project has had in terms of traffic flow, particularly in regards to mitigation of accidents in front of the high school. The results are stunning that we were one a week for years. The high school kid getting creamed in front of the high school. Now, I don't think we've had an accident in front of the high school since we've done this modification. So, trusting the engineers and traffic studies and being willing to work and stay to your guns, so to speak, when there's people that are second guessing. They'll never come back and apologize, but we know that it was the right thing to do, and we moved forward. So it was really quite a privilege to have been awarded. That's all I have, and I'll turn it over. Let's go again.
I'd just like to thank the Friends of the Library. They had one of their regular book sales that raises money for the library, and it was good to see the library staff. They do great work for the community, and I'm grateful for Mary and her team.
So your excess books end up in my excess pile.
They do. I am filling your shelves at
you.
home, Mark.
Thank you. Yeah. Mary, that's all good. Hear me? Hey, I want to tell you, I appreciate your feedback on the water main. Obviously, we have work to do there and some studies to do, but appreciate your feedback you gave the other day about how substrate for a lot of these old water pipes, they're not really that old, did not get the appropriate substrate road. We don't really know how serious problem we have.
We don't, and we don't want to find out, but there's a chance, within that system, the decay, and you guys have seen the pictures. We'll connect again on this, but yeah, I think it's inevitable. It's just a matter of when. But I think as Commissioner Camp discussed with us, we can't fix the past, but we can ensure that the next generation of leaders are well prepared.
Larry, again?
I'd like to echo that. Thank you, Jeremy. And then I talked to John for a while this week, and obviously gave us a heads up so that if we dig up water main or see that the pipe not be corroded, we might be able to mitigate that and put some sleeve or something in there to prevent that from happening. So, good.
Today Larry and Mr. Mayor, Mayor and I were at MML for a while, and you always get a variety of topics and a variety of information, which is wonderful, but it's a great reminder of the fact that really where the rubber meets the road is at the local level. This is, in all the communities, this is where people have the greatest ability in their community to connect with the leaders that make real decisions that affect them, rather than things that are at higher and higher and higher levels, where decisions that are made, how do you talk to somebody at the federal level or even at the state level, but when it's local. So, I don't know, just a neat thing to be involved with and to have the ability to influence the way our body does for the city of Hudsonville. So grateful for a great group of guys.
Nothing, sir.
I will not be at your next regular session.
Say it again?
I will not be at your next regular session meeting.
Will not be at our next regular session.
Correct. Oh,
Going to be Greece or Mexico or
California.
where?
California.
California.
I will be on a plane,
And what are you doing?
visiting a mouse
A mouse?
and his friends.
Am I?
Very well. Anything from the audience while we still got time? I'll turn it over to the city manager. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Commissioner Branson, still getting used to the microphone, as you told me, but I can hear myself.
Wow, I get it. It's
Yeah,
Larry.
thank you for we did some reprogramming, and I can't explain that, that's why I lean on you, but really appreciate the efforts in the chambers. Sarah, Jill, you as well, I feel like we all have a hand in the technology here in the chambers. Early next month, we'll be implementing the Terra Square audio upgrades as well that the commission approved at your January meeting. Needed to find a gap in the programming, aligning with staff and Parkway, and looking forward to getting that done. We all know that needs some love too. So Commissioner Branson, thank you for that. Thank you, Mary Cook, Dan Strickler, and Sarah Steffens for your efforts on navigating well over a year the library services agreement as well as the wireless education. A lot of staff hours, dozens, if not more, of staff hours combined. And commissioners, thank you for the approval, recognizing the efforts. A lot of sweat and tears went into these, but really appreciate everyone's efforts in making these happen. I received the library feasibility study last week. I have not finished going through that. Mary and I did meet today to discuss kind of next steps and some general, just a general conversation result of the study. We need to go back to MKM, just a few questions to clean up. I'll work with Mayor Northrup on how we go about diving into that. The library/community center is part of, obviously, the master plan, but it could be part of the Village Green, could be part of other improvements. And as we've discussed relating to the Village Green, there's a lot of interconnected activities here. And we don't need firm decisions now, but we start working towards those. The process here is just as important as the final product, and it starts with these conversations. So most likely, we'll come up with a memo of the highlight points of the feasibility study at a workshop. Where does the library advisory board fit into there? We want to make sure those folks have a voice at the table and are helping us steer this. So Mr. Mayor, as part of the item number 9 on the agenda that was tabled, and this, it'll be part of they are separate, but they are part of the same conversation.
Do you
So
think we have a work session in 2 weeks?
I'll talk to you about that in
Okay.
detail. There's different steps that we
Okay.
can go in, but we'll be prepared to have a discussion.
I think we just need to sit down and have another discussion.
Nothing.
Kind of, although we had a subcommittee, I think the subcommittee, I think we're at a point where this is such a huge impact that we all need to put our heads together. We're all on board. A lot of moving parts right now. Can't afford not.
Yeah, and I completely agree with the tabling of item number 9. We discussed at the workshop, it was discussed then to get it on there, but I appreciate everyone wanting to pump the brakes a little bit, make sure we're all on the same page. Too important. The water main in Corporate Grove Drive is under repair today and will be finished tomorrow. I will send out some correspondence there. I've talked to John, I've talked to some of my colleagues. Commissioner Campa has given me some additional information as well. I want to circle back with him. We can talk about why it happened, what we can do to prevent, but I think most importantly, what we can do in the future, especially as it relates to potential ordinance amendments, sector board. So
Was that work up there our work, or was that Burger?
that was our work. Yeah, it was there was a valve issue on 32nd, just outside of the property. Andrew, the finance department, chugging away on budgets. Department head budgets were submitted, Andrew, about a week and a half ago. We're still navigating a few items. But tomorrow, Andrew and I's month-long bonding experience starts over the budget. I think we have 4 or 5 meetings already scheduled, so think of us or think of me as I'm in that room with Andrew, but with the BSNA cloud and with the process we have with department budgets, we cleaned it up. It's much more timely, it's much easier to navigate, and it's much more efficient. So Andrew, kudos to you on not only the cloud rollout, but constantly revamping our processing. Mayor Northrop, I know you talked with Andrew earlier. We are working on a revamped capital improvement process. One of the challenges that the city has faced for the past few years isn't with our efforts, our planning efforts, our rate calculations. It is with the vendors in which we have intergovernmental agreements with. Water and sewer primarily, the improvements at these plants where we get treatment from directly impact us to a percentage as part of our use of the system. We can't control their CIP, we can't control their planning, but what we can do is plan ours much better so when that happens, we can respond. So Andrew and I are engaged with Maynard Kostierson on what this looks like, how we implement the new ClearGov software we purchased, how we implement Waterworth, our rate calculation, rate methodology process. It's really cool stuff, and it's transparent that it puts out the why to the recommendation. So definitely getting better there. The city CIP process, it's okay. We can do a lot better. We're trying to use our RC technical funds to be able to pay for this. We're waiting to hear back from the state on that, but just constant improvement in our processes. The collective bargaining discussions with SEIU, our Public Works Union, will begin this month. I've been working with Andrea and Andrew in part. We're going to be more involved moving forward, but basically what changes we'd like to see in the CIB and how we navigate that. But we have 2 meetings scheduled for the end of the month.
How many union members?
Oh,
6?
the actual count right now is I think 6. At full capacity, we can be anywhere from 7 to 9, depending where part-time employees go, permanent part-time seats. Want to give a shout out to Jacob on the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration grant for the attenuator. Jacob and I spent about an hour and a half navigating the submit button for this grant process. And if you've ever dabbled in state or federal grants, it's the gift that keeps on giving in terms of submitting and navigating the software. But I went back and I looked at the narrative, looked at the supplemental documents that staff put together. And this is more for me outside of this grant is the language we use, where are we drawing our data from, how are we hitting the grant bullets, and just truly taken back, Jacob. Sarah, you've done a lot with that too. There's a reason why we've been successful with grants. And after looking at that information, just continue being impressed with staff and our efforts. At our workshop, we discussed ODC next steps. We have a meeting with them tomorrow. It'll be a reoccurring monthly meeting with trying to find ways for external funding to close the gap. If you remember, roughly 4 months ago, we received a $430,000 grant from the Michigan Department of Natural Resources. The grant was recommended by the Trust Fund Board. Now it'll go to the State Budget Office with hopes of approval as part of the legislature's, the governor's budget in late September, early October, all things equal. So that's when that funding will open up. We can't start anything until until the grants have formally been awarded and budgeted for. So we're working with the ODC on closing that gap funding, and it's our next kickoff meeting in terms of where we go for the external. Great group at the ODC, great group of city staff, and I'm very confident we'll be able to close. Then finally, just a heads up, I'll be out of the office from the afternoon of March 25th through the late evening of Sunday, March 28th. As you're all aware, one of my side hobbies, my only one, I'm the head official for the Michigan Youth Wrestling Association. We have our 4-day state tournament. We'll have 32 wrestling mats. I'll have 70 officials underneath me. I'm running a 4-day tournament. So that is that weekend. I'll only be in Kalamazoo. Got great staff. We'll be okay. I'll be a phone call away. Just want if there's any questions or comments, I can take those at the time. But Mr. Mayor, this concludes my report.
Actually, I have something. It's it may be a weird way to ask it because I'm not familiar with it, but in the past when we've done road projects and we get grant money, that grant money can sometimes be helped by having to do underground work. When we have this kind of issue with the problems that we've had in the last week with that, does that, I mean, it's kind of weird to say it, but does that like go, oh, it gives us an opportunity to go for something because we have a problem?
Yeah, I mean, seize the day, right? If we're gonna mobilize equipment, we're gonna chew up road, we'd like to take advantage of economies of scale. I think where we realize the most value there is the pre-plan. If we're doing road work, what is the condition of the stormwater system, sanitary system, and the water system? What's the age of the pipe condition? With that stretch of water main or sewer main, have we had any issues? That is the time to chew that up and implement it all at once, so we're not coming back in 3 years on good asphalt.
Right.
So really, primarily, that is a hard look at the forefront of a project. But when we have situations like this, if we can correct other things, which we actually are with regards to Corporate Grove Drive today, it's one area. And so when you're talking about a large-scale mobilization like that of looking at additional pipe, it's essentially, emergency call-out if we need vendor support. But if we can fix any valves, address any valves as part of that while we're out there, we always like to do that. It's economies of scale. And if you all recall, Corporate Grove Drive and Corporate Exchange were recently paved. So that's not where we want to see any kind of infrastructure issue. In this unique situation, we're actually boring new pipe under the road, which is great because we have a lot of commercial vehicle traffic in that area in the industrial park. So we're allowed to keep the road open where our businesses can ship in product. And then secondly, we're protecting asphalt. It just happened to be like that this time. Kind of a unique situation. I've never seen it before. But yes, so to answer your question, pre and then even post, we're looking to take advantage of economies of scale. Great question.
Anything else? We are adjourned.